Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today I'm working on another one of my trees that was a nursery rescue. It is a Jim Dandy Winterberry, which I have two of them, and one I left outside for the winter, and that one got the most beautiful red berries. And the other one I brought inside in the basement for a period of dormancy down there to do like a little science experiment to see how cold hardy they are. So one of them is absolutely beautiful, and I'll show you that now. Bruce Lee, excuse me, buddy. You gotta move. So that one is over here, and I'm just loving the bright green leaves. This one leaved out naturally this spring, so it didn't get sun scorched or anything from taking it outside to inside, or inside to outside rather. That's what happened with the other one. The other one is absolutely fugly, the one that we're going to take a look at today. So you see here, this one has some other branching coming up, different areas that, I don't know, I would probably prune off at some point, but I'm going to leave them, get this thing to thicken up. It just looks really nice right now. So I'm going to totally leave this one right now. There's actually, look, there's, I believe, a birch tree or a rose of Sharon growing behind it. So I'll probably get that out of there at some point. So we're going to leave that one, but we are going to attack this one. So it's a mess. So that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. Kind of like on the other one, like I was showing you, this one has some growing up off to the side and out, and it's just a big cluster. And it's ugly. You see the leaves, they have sun spotting and burning. They're just terrible. So I'd like to give this thing a chance to look like at least a nice potential bonsai tree, you know, get it into a pre-bonsai state, and get it some branching, because it really has a strong trunk line and then really strong woody branching. So I'd like to see if we can't get a second budding out so we get some finer branching, some finer leaves, and get some of the natural colored leaves like on the other one that are nice and light and bright and green. And then we'll leave it, so hopefully we get berries on this one this year. So I'm just going to prune these out. I'm sure I could air layer these or put rooting hormone on them and put them in some water and grow some more, but I really have no interest in having a whole collection of these. Two is fine. I'm really at that point where I have, over the 4 years that I've been doing bonsai, I've grown enough from seed and collected enough from like Yamadori and nursery rescues where I just want to work with what I have. I'm just finally learning like what they like and what they don't like, you know, starting to get some good branching, and especially on my pines. So I am good for right now. Probably in 3 or 4 years, I will grow some of my favorite species again from seed with our, baby girl we're expecting, do it like a little homeschool experiment. That'll be fun. But until then, I'm good, because I raised seedlings and basically watered little baby trees in tiny little pots and then repotting them, and they looked like nothing for the longest time since my beginning of my journey. I have very few trees that were not from seed. This happens to be one of them. So it looked just like this woody part, okay? It was pruned off hard like that. It was in a bag, and all the roots were bare. And they didn't even know, like, how long it had been in the warehouse or what. So it was a free giveaway. So this branch is coming right across the middle. So I'm going to leave a tiny little nub. Maybe we'll get a bud out of here to come up. I'll leave a little now. Basically anything ugly I want out of there. This one is a little prettier, so I'll probably leave this as the apex. I'm going to leave a little more on it, just because I don't want this thing to be totally ugly right now. I'd like for it to be attractive even before it buds out. And there's a few growing across the bottom, and since the trunk already has a nice taper, and it's more like I have to get some branching to match the thickness of the trunk in these initial branches more than I need to get some thickness on the trunk. You can understand that. Some nice roots on these though. Potential there. Kind of looks like a hand reaching into the soil. I like that. We got some deadwood off the back here that I think at this point we could remove. Yeah, it's totally dead. That's green underneath. Maybe we'll get a bud there. That'll be good. This one, I think it's in perfect size with the tree, so I'm gonna not touch that one. I actually am going to come and take this one down one more. Just had to. And this one's not so bad coming out. There, I'm not sure if this part here is alive or not. There's no budding higher than this branch. Let me just take it down a little bit and see. Oh, that's more than a little bit, huh? Okay, so that's alive, so I am going to leave that because there's always potential for some back budding on the harder wood. You get really lucky, but that would be cool. There's already, I don't know how good our camera is, but there's already these tiny buds forming here and at the inner nodes of the leaves, so I really think this thing's going to respond well to this pruning. So I'll give it a little spin. Yeah, so that's going to do it for today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai, y'all. I hope you enjoyed the video on the Jim Dandy Winterberry. I will give you an update on it probably late in the summer, and my hopes is that it's got a beautiful lush canopy and then berries form in the fall. So yes, if you want to check back on that, go ahead, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell, and you'll get much more videos like these and the updates on these. I'm Jared Paul. Take care, y'all. Cheers.